So first off, I really want to say, if you guys haven't seen my other Kingdom Hearts Union Cross theories, then I definitely recommend you give those a look. They're heat, my boy. The other ones, I had ideas, evidence to back it up, counter arguments to my own self, and evidence to back those up as well. But in this case, there's so many multiple different possibilities that I have in mind that have the potential to be true, but I just don't know, and I find evidence to counter argue myself well as for it, but it's just so many more loose strings, I guess you could say. Like, in comparison to my last theories, the strings aren't as many, but they aren't as out there yet. Like, the strings aren't as long, but they're just as many. And mainly, I want to talk about the two big anomalies that's going on right now in Kingdom Hearts Union Cross. Is the glitchy phenomenon and the Darklings. At first, I never made any implication at these two having anything to do with each other. I thought they were both just happened to be there at the same time, causing trouble for the Union leaders. And I was only going to talk about the Darklings at first, but one of the latest scenes led me to believe that maybe there's something more going on with the glitching phenomenon too. Maybe it's not just some random occurrence that's happening. But where I'm coming from is, as both player and Ephemera are stepping into nice land, right before they get into it, something tells both player and Ephemera, or either one of them, we don't really know, you are different in completely spaced text, which I guess signifies the Darkling speech because it's very slow and limited. And then later on, when that same Darkling gets spotted again, he is sort of taunting them and egging them on to follow him. But at the same time, Glitchy Heartless go in a different direction and the player goes to follow them while Ephemera tracks down the Darkling. But as the player follows the Glitchy Heartless, which specifically shows the type of Heartless that it is, something else glitches behind them, following them into the exit to where the player is going. And if it just showed a normal Glitchy Heartless, then that would have been fine. Even if it showed that glitch but still the music being there, I wouldn't have been as suspicious. But having the music just dead silent, just cut off with like just with a snap, just like that, that's suspicious to me. That's really suspicious. It almost seems as if the two things are connected and that they're both intentionally meant to split up both the player and Ephemera. And a majority of the time, we could tell what the glitches were because they would glitch, but then they would show a bodied form as some type of Heartless. It then glitch back and turn into a Heartless again, then glitch back and everything like that. But this, while still floating, we didn't get to see what it was at all. And y'all know me by now. If I want something to be something, I'm gonna make it something big. Translation to that, my first thoughts were, oh wait, who is it? Is it someone we know? Could it be Strelitzia? Could it be the Master of Masters? Could it be Ava? Someone like that? Those are my first thoughts, but calming down a bit, I was like, all right, let me think about this. Let me backtrack. I know it's not something that wild now. It is definitely something of importance, or else they wouldn't have cut the music off dead silent, have it showing follow behind the player, and intentionally not showing the true form of whatever this glitch is. The only other time we saw this happen was the very first time the glitches were showing up, and it was what I assumed to introduce them, because when introducing something new, usually you ease it in a little bit. But then after they did that first thing where it showed a glitch with no form of it, it always showed the Heartless glitches to be glitching and show the Heartless's form, and then they get full form, and then they glitch again. So for something to have the stage set to be that significant, it's just suspicious to me. And having it follow the player, there's clearly some sort of intelligence or reasoning or importance or significance or goal behind why it followed the player where it did. And the reason why I'm saying them and the Darklings could be working together is because they both seem like they intentionally wanted one person to follow them, so it could lead to some event that we haven't seen yet. And if you guys don't know what Darklings are just Keyblade wielders that got overtaken by the guilt power and therefore got turned into pure blood Heartlesses. But they're special because they can still retain their speech, but it's in a slower, more rhythmical and less fluent manner, and they can still create portals and cross between the lanes between. And the way it talks to Ephemera and the player, there is clearly some sort of intelligence that the Keyblade wielders that turned into these Darklings still possess, and clearly they have some knowledge that we don't know of. And who knows if normal Keyblade wielders are even able to understand the Darklings, because although we saw it, both Ephemera and the player didn't react to what it said in the slightest. But based on what he's saying, that means the Darkling does have some knowledge that we don't. So what could the Darkling know about Ephemera or the player, or both, that we don't? Could it be that one of them is actually the real version while the other is just a data being because they are in the data world of Daybreak Town? Or maybe the Darkling noticed how the player was the sole survivor of the Keyblade War and how he's different from the other Dandelions that never had to deal with the Keyblade War? Or maybe the Darkling just noticed that it's not a glitching phenomenon like the Heartless are. And when I say heartless, I mean mainly the emblem heartless, because you can tell the difference between the Darklings and other pure blood heartlesses and the emblem heartless. And usually the pure bloods or the stronger pure blooded heartless are the commanders over just the emblem heartless. But one thing we still do know is that Niceland was not connected to Daybreak Town before the Keyblade War, but only appeared after the Keyblade War had occurred. And his brain did mention maybe somebody had set this up prior to the Keyblade War, knowing it was going to happen, meaning it would have to be Lu Shu or the Master of Masters or one of the foretellers. And since the Darklings are Keyblade wielders technically, maybe the Master of Masters still had some influence over them and wanted them to get some sort of job done. And like I said in my last theory, the Master of Masters could have set up for the glitches to occur by the clashing between the data world and the real world, so he could set up the glitches, enforce the Darklings, work with the glitching heartless, all while setting up a new world that was not existing before the Keyblade War, to lead them all into some sort of trap, to some sort of location. Hey, please guys, bear with me. At the beginning of this video, I did say I had all these thoughts going around inside my head, not exactly a fully concrete theory, but just ideas on both of these different things that I hadn't brainstormed enough to create separate videos on their own. And since we don't have that much information yet, and since I also do think they're tied, I thought, why well, just make it one video. But basically what I'm trying to say is I do think that somebody employed this before the Keyblade War happened, so it would only occur after the Keyblade War, as Brain had said, to initiate the glitching between the data world and the real version of Daybreak Town. And based on the player being followed by a glitch, maybe there's a way to be glitching from one of the opposite worlds and still be sentient. And maybe the glitching is just trying to transfer from one to the next, but it's not fully stabilized yet, just like the portals between the worlds. Notice how when they got attacked by the glitches, they're always followed up by the Darklings. But there has to be some way to know if Niceland is both a data world or the real world, because there are glitching phenomenons and there are still normal stabilized heartless. And to all you people that wanted to be Strelitzia, Lord have mercy, I hope it was too, but it was short and floating. And I went back to the Strelitzia scene when she was first glitched. Her sprite for the glitching is way too tall. It's a different shading, different color and all that. So as I'm sorry, it's not her. It's probably not her. Since it is small, it could be a Kirithy for some. It could be her Kirithy, because everybody forget about her Kirithy. Her Kirithy died too. But anyway, those are just my thoughts. That's my quote unquote theory. This is more a theory slash discussion, half theory, half discussion. Once we get more information, I'll definitely have a more concrete theory. But this is just me giving my thoughts, and I want to promote discussion, really. And because I enjoyed talking about Kingdom Hearts Union Cross, because I, to be honest, enjoyed the story of Kingdom Hearts Union Cross more than the story of the Xehanort Saga. It feels a lot more put together and able to be followed, and just a lot more interesting. But that's just me personally. I still like the Xehanort story. But anyway, the main thing I wanted to say is let me know what you guys think. I wanted to do this. It is still early in this era of the Niceland arc, I guess I could say. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think the Darklings and the Heartless are also working together? Do you think someone set this up before the Keyblade War for the glitching phenomenon to occur, and employing the Darklings to work in their service and to get them to work with the Heartless, because they are Heartless as well? Do you think that somebody used their attraction to the darkness and their attraction to the guilt energy to get them to follow their commands? And where do you think the Darkling is taking Ephemera? And who do you think that glitch is that followed the player? These are a lot of questions, so if you want to answer any of those and want to talk about any of those, leave them in the comments below. Promote discussion. Don't be afraid to talk to each other and talk to me, of course. If you guys did enjoy this video and want to see many more Kingdom Hearts Union Cross videos and many more of anything at all, make sure you hit that like button and comment down below, answer any of the questions I just asked, and subscribe to the channel for much more content, and check out the rest. I want to thank you all very much for watching. I very much appreciate it. It's super helpful to me, and I can't even express my gratitude for all the new subscribers and all the new viewers and likers and commenters. All of you guys, very thankful. And I want to make sure you guys stick around. I also apologize again for how this isn't as well knit, because I want this to be enjoyable and quality for you guys, but I still wanted to voice my thoughts and opinions, because I have so many different thoughts how it could lead to certain different directions. So I want to again apologize for the less of formality, but also just wanted to promote discussion while also voicing where I'm going from now, and I want to voice it now so I don't get debunked before I can even put out the video. I don't mind making a theory and then it getting debunked, but I want to at least voice my thoughts and have a video out before something else drops and proves it completely wrong. But then again, thank you all again for watching. Even that's all support is appreciated. Even that's enough for me, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out, guys.